411, Bubba McKeon. Welcome to, man, my messy office. I got to get out of here. Good. Bubba McKeon. Johnny TG40, what's up? Hope you guys can hear me. And Barbara B. Green. Nice hair, I know, right? It's all over the place. Now, this hair or this hair? It's pretty bad. Hey, Kyle. What's going on? And Orgo Demata. We're in the pain cave right now. I'll give you guys cycling every day, bro. Johnny, I'm a jealous guy. That's all right, though. Working too much work for me, but that's all right. I'll show you guys while we're waiting for a few more people. I just want to kind of discuss the power-based training, give you guys a look at the pain cave. This is where we do all the personal training. And that right there, we just finished up a class and watching. Those guys are actually, they just finished up watching the tour of California and doing some VO2 intervals, which suck for those of you who have ever done them. Hey, Che Rob, what's going on? Welcome to the Periscope. My name's Chad Andrews. I'm the owner of Total Cyclist. And what's up, Artie? 555. Today, I want to kind of just spend 5 or 10 minutes going over power-based training 411. Power-based training to me for cyclists is like the cat's meow. That's stupid. It's the best way to train because there's a few reasons why power-based training. I know it's expensive, but the prices are coming down big time. But the most important thing is that it's a quantifiable measurement. Like heart rate is affected by so many things. Whether you had a fight with your spouse or your friend, or whether you had too much wine the night before. I can probably point at a few of you right now. You didn't sleep well. So heart rate is a byproduct of power. And with power, it'd be nice if these things moved side to side and you had to balance. Keep the chat coming. So with power-based training, we can coach. You can train, and not only can you find power-based numbers like your lactate threshold power number by doing some basic testing, which I'm going to talk about here in just a moment. But power-based training is a great way to determine whether you need rest or whether you're peaking or whether you're in form. Hunter Allen and a lot of those guys are, you're on your rollers. Man. You guys are hardcore doing roller workouts while doing a Periscope. So essentially what power-based training will do is it'll give you not only a quantifiable measurement about testing. I'm not on the rollers. I can barely even do a Periscope or do commentary or whatever and do coaching at the same time. But what power-based training can do is it can tell you, I know a lot of athletes that train with it, they found out, your VO2 numbers are off the charts and your sprint power is off the charts. But I think the most critical thing that I've found through power-based training is your ability to be able to determine when you need to rest. And I know a lot of cyclists out there are using a heart rate as a training methodology to determine your rest. When you wake up, if your resting heart rate is, say, 6 to 8 beats higher than it normally is, then that's a good time to rest. It is, but you could probably head that off as you do some power-based training. There's what's called your chronic training load, your acute training load. And those are all great predictors in the ebb and flows of a cycling season, whether you're a beginner cyclist all the way up to the top pros in the world. They use this, what we call performance management chart, to determine on whether you can, whether you're performing well or not. Whether you suck really bad when you had a workout or whether you're just crushing it. And that's what power can do. Another thing I want to talk about is testing. I know so many cyclists, athletes, triathletes, that want to use a climb to determine their threshold power. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan at all. And here's why. In order to go up a big mountain, you have to put out the energy to move the bike forward. When you're on a flat, you don't have to. You don't have to put out the... You can stop pedaling at any time on a flat time trial to determine your functional threshold power. That's why I'm not a fan of it. I mean, it's like, man, there's a spot right here where I can soft pedal or whatever. You can't do that. In other words, if you're on a flat course, you have to put out your own power so that it not only becomes a mental thing, but it also becomes a physical idea too. So testing in a controlled environment with no dogs, no cats, no stoplights, no climbing, nothing. A training center, great place to do it, whether it's Total Cyclist or whether it's one that where you guys live. But just don't do I know so many athletes, man, it just slays me, who will go do a threshold power test inside of a training center or up a climb. And they'll go, man, I just crushed my FTP. Well, you did, but it's hard to repeat because you may not be able to go back to the mountains. No teenage drivers are elderly. I don't know. That might actually make it pretty fun, dodging teenagers and elderly people. Might be onto something there. Diva Cycling Camp. Maybe Diva Cycling Camp has some elderly people that they dodge when they're doing their threshold power test. But that is the best way to test. Do it on a flat road with nothing in your way, no trees, no dogs, no damn squirrels. The worst things in the world. I get taken out by a squirrel. Now, once that number is derived, then you plug it in, and then you could start using that as a great metric to deer. Diva Cycling Campaigns. What about deer? Oh, there's a YouTube video. Sorry to move away from the conversation. Check out the YouTube video of a cookie ride that happened here in, man, this is bad. This cookie ride that happened in the Carolinas, it's called the Assault on Mount Mitchell, and it's nasty. There's a picture of a dog bisecting the peloton. Oh man, it's bad. Go watch it. It's bad. But anyway, all right. So back to power-based training. You can use the three keys are you can use power-based training to determine whether you are whether you're starting to feel good or feel bad. It's a performance management chart. You can determine when you're starting to peak or not to peak. You can also use it to, I guess the best thing to with your testing will be a lot more consistent when you do it in a controlled environment. So that's the biggest things I wanted to kind of get across. Don't test on a mountain or a climb or wherever. Testing on a mountain is not the way to test. Hey, Pete Butler, what's up, bud? Not a fan. What are you guys? I mean, when you guys test, have you found that that whenever you test on a mountain versus doing, for those of you who have power, when you test on a mountain or you test on a flat, have you noticed some significant differences? You know, I go from at least 100 watts of threshold on the ground, on the flat road, to 125 on a climb, easily. Tim McCullum tests on climbs, and he is cool. Actually, Tim McCullum is in the training center right now, getting his left hind cheek torn off from threshold intervals. But that's it. Great scope. These? Huh. They're supposed to make me smarter, but when I turned 50, I couldn't see a dang thing that was close to my face. I couldn't even read this on my chest. It says Total Cyclist. Periscope. I'm learning. Great Periscope. Well, thank you. Well, Johnny, man, you need to try it and understand what it sounds like. Yeah, I'm 50. Chris? Cubby? Well, quit fidgeting. That's half your problem. And what's that got to do with power? You're losing power by using that Brooks saddle with a rivet that's tearing your, the inside of your leg up. Except for getting short up here. So that's it. Yeah, Johnny, you need to sell the rollers, get a power meter. You can get faster. I had a client actually that came in today, and he was talking to me, and he's like, "Yeah, we could do distance testing, Barbara." He came in and he sat down next to me, and I reached over. This is a good story. I'll show it to you guys. So, sell your plasma, get a power meter. Diva Cycling Camp, you guys are... All right. Now, he came in and he's like, "Hey, man, I'm at 285, and I wanted to get up to 320, 315. And I looked at him dead in the eyes, and I was like, I hate to say this, but you're a master rider. Can you lose a couple pounds? So I went over here. I did an ass move. This is not nice. And I went over. I grabbed this 7.5 pound weight, And I walked over to him, and I handed it to him, and I said, if you lose 7.5 pounds, this is how much it'll take off, and you won't be carrying this up a mountain. Then your power to weight ratio goes up, and then your watts per kilogram go through the roof. And he's like, oh, wow. Never thought about it like that. That was almost my foot. So he then thought about, well, you know what? I'm not trying to get to this almighty number of 375,000 watts at threshold when he's doing intervals in here. He's like, man, maybe I should start watching my weight a little bit and what I eat. And I'm like, yeah, that's a good idea. That's a good idea. That's what I would do. Because you can train your threshold higher, slightly higher, but you've only got a limit, a ceiling, that we like to call it. And then you're losing weight, then your watts per kilogram start going up. And that little chart on Performance Management Chart or Training Peaks or Power-Based Training 411 or any of the softwares that you use, that's going to start inching up. And you're going to be like, man, I am a serious bike rider. And the leg he called the Red Rocket, and now he has a six-pack. What? All right, any more questions before I give this sucker a wrap? Thank you guys for joining. I just wanted to give a little, don't test on a mountain. Do get a power meter, especially since the prices are come down. And try out a couple of them. It's like, the Cork's the best, the SRM's the best. Really, it's, man, what fits in your budget, what you can afford, which is exactly the same thing, just going about it the same, different way. And then, read about them. And God, you'll go bonkers reading about all the different kinds of power-based training methodologies out there and the trainings. So that's it, though. Hope you guys have an awesome Tune-Up Tuesday. Thanks for joining. Don't fall off the rollers. Don't get hit by a deer. And don't. Well, that's me right there on the scooter. I just ripped this out. There we go. So I'm back. All right. So thanks, guys, for showing. We're hoping to have much more Tune-Up Tuesdays for you guys so that you guys can get a good idea of how to do any training. And if you can follow me on Twitter at the Chad Andrews and Instagram at the Chad Andrews. And if you have any questions, just bomb me with them. And then we'll put them on Periscope. All right? You guys have an awesome Tuesday night, and we'll be checking in with you later. Thanks.